everybody, welcome to my channel.
Iman, the trailblazing supermodel, entrepreneur, and humanitarian Iman Mohamed Abdulmajid, known globally simply as Iman, is one of the most influential figures in modern fashion and beauty. Born on July 25, 1955, in Mogadishu, Somalia, she rose from a multilingual political science student to an international supermodel, groundbreaking businesswoman, and respected humanitarian. Her life story is a powerful blend of elegance, intellect, resilience, and cultural impact. Early life and education. Iman was born into an educated, diplomatic Somali family. Her father worked as a diplomat, and she spent her early years moving between Somalia, Egypt, and Kenya. She attended boarding school in Egypt before studying political science at the University of Nairobi. Fluent in several languages, she grew up in a globally connected environment that shaped her future career and worldview. Her entry into modeling happened unexpectedly when photographer Peter Beard discovered her in Nairobi. Soon after, she moved to New York City, where her striking beauty and poise instantly captivated the fashion industry. Rise to supermodel status. Iman became one of the most prominent models of the 1970s and 1980s. With her long neck, sculpted features, and magnetic presence, she broke barriers in an industry that had long failed to represent diverse forms of beauty. She graced countless magazine covers, appeared in high-profile editorials, and walked runways for iconic designers such as Yves Saint Laurent, Halston, Gianni Versace, and Calvin Klein. Many fashion legends regarded her as a muse, and she helped redefine standards of elegance and representation. Her influence went far beyond her beauty. She brought an intellectual, confident, and dignified presence to the modeling world at a time when few Black women were given global recognition. Entrepreneurship and business innovation. In 1994, Iman founded Iman Cosmetics, a pioneering makeup line created to serve women of color, an underserved market in the beauty industry. Long before diversity became a mainstream priority, her brand filled a critical gap by offering a wide range of foundation shades and products tailored to deeper skin tones. Her business success extended into fashion and home collections, as well as fragrance. She became known as an entrepreneur with vision, creativity, and a strong sense of purpose. Philanthropy and advocacy. Iman has dedicated much of her life to humanitarian causes. She has been an outspoken advocate for global poverty relief, refugee support, and women's empowerment. Through partnerships with major charitable organizations, she has worked on issues related to health, education, and crisis relief, particularly in Africa. Her compassionate leadership, combined with her personal story as someone who experienced displacement and cultural transition, has made her a deeply respected global ambassador for humanitarian work. Personal life. Iman has been married 3 times, but her most widely known relationship was with legendary musician David Bowie, whom she married in 1992. Their marriage became one of entertainment's most admired partnerships, deep, private, and enduring. They had a daughter, Alexandria, Lexi, in 2000. After Bowie's passing in 2016, Iman continued to honor his memory while maintaining her characteristic grace and privacy. Legacy and influence. Iman's legacy is multifaceted. Fashion icon. She changed the fashion landscape and broadened ideas of beauty and representation. Beauty pioneer. Her cosmetics line paved the way for inclusive beauty brands. Humanitarian leader. She uses her platform to highlight global issues and advocate for marginalized communities. Cultural symbol. Iman's life bridges continents, cultures, and creative industries, making her an enduring figure of inspiration. Conclusion. Iman is more than a supermodel. She is a visionary who helped reshape fashion, empower women, and advocate for global change. Her elegance, intelligence, and humanitarian spirit have cemented her status as one of the most influential cultural icons of the modern era. Iman, a life of beauty, power, and purpose. Iman Mohamed Abdulmajid, universally known as Iman, is one of the most influential figures in fashion history. More than a supermodel, she is a visionary who reshaped the beauty industry, an entrepreneur who championed inclusivity decades before it became a global movement, and a humanitarian whose work has touched communities around the world. Her story spans continents and cultures, reflecting a life fueled by determination, intellect, and extraordinary presence. Early life and cultural roots. Born in Mogadishu, Somalia, Iman was raised in a progressive and well-educated family. Her father worked in diplomacy, and her mother was a strong advocate for education. Growing up in a household that valued knowledge, she attended some of the best schools available, including boarding school in Egypt. Her childhood was defined by cultural diversity. She traveled widely with her family and became fluent in multiple languages: Somali, Arabic, English, Italian, and French. These global influences shaped her thinking long before she ever entered the world of fashion. In Kenya, while studying political science at the University of Nairobi, fate intervened. A photographer discovered her and was struck not only by her beauty, but also by her poise and intellect. Though hesitant at first, Iman eventually agreed to move to the United States to pursue modeling. Conquering the fashion world. When Iman arrived in New York City in the mid-1970s, the fashion industry was not known for diversity. Yet within weeks of her arrival, she became a sensation. A new ideal of beauty: Iman's long neck, sculpted cheekbones, and regal bearing enthralled designers, photographers, and editors. Her appearance challenged Eurocentric beauty norms, helping the industry embrace a broader vision of what beauty could be. Muse to designers throughout her career, she became a favorite of some of the world's most influential designers. Yves Saint Laurent famously dedicated an entire collection to her, praising her as the ideal embodiment of modern elegance. Editorial stardom. Iman's presence in major magazines helped expand representation. Her photographs by influential fashion photographers contributed to an era where diversity slowly started emerging in print media. Runway impact. She walked for top fashion houses across Paris, New York, and Milan. Her fluid, commanding runway walk made her a standout, and her professionalism earned her a sterling reputation. Beyond modeling. Building a beauty empire. After nearly 2 decades in modeling, Iman transitioned to entrepreneurship. In 1994, she founded Iman Cosmetics, a groundbreaking makeup line created to address the lack of beauty products for women of color. Revolutionizing beauty at the time, most major brands offered only a few shades for deeper skin tones. Iman recognized this gap from her own modeling experience, where she often had to mix her own foundation because artists did not have the right shades. Her brand offered an extensive spectrum of colors, sending a powerful message to the industry: beauty is inclusive. Visionary leadership. Iman's business philosophy emphasized representation, quality, cultural understanding, the belief that every woman deserves to see herself reflected in beauty products. Her company became a leader in multicultural cosmetics and influenced a generation of brands that followed. Acting and media work. Iman explored acting in film and television, appearing in various productions and hosting fashion-related shows. While these roles were not her primary focus, they showcased her versatility and broad appeal. Humanitarian commitment. Iman's humanitarian work is a cornerstone of her identity. She has been deeply involved in causes related to Refugee support, women's empowerment, global poverty, human rights, health and education initiatives. Her own experience as someone who grew up between cultures and witnessed political upheaval gave her a unique perspective on global struggles. She has served as a global ambassador for major humanitarian organizations, lending her voice and influence to issues affecting vulnerable populations. Marriage to David Bowie in 1992. Iman married legendary musician David Bowie, forming one of the most admired couples in entertainment. Their relationship was grounded in deep respect, privacy, and mutual admiration. They welcomed their daughter, Lexi, in 2000. Iman also helped raise Bowie's son from his earlier marriage, nurturing a close-knit family. Bowie's passing in 2016 was a profound loss for Iman. She has continued to honor his memory through her fragrance projects and public reflections on love, grief, and resilience. Philosophy on aging and identity. Iman has spoken openly about aging with dignity. She rejects the term anti-aging, emphasizing instead the importance of aging gracefully, naturally, and gratefully. She reflects often on her African heritage, where aging is seen as a gift rather than a burden. Her perspective offers a refreshing counterpoint to the beauty industry's obsession with youth. Books and creative projects. Iman is the author of 2 books. I Am Iman, a visual autobiography blending photography and personal stories, The Beauty of Color. A makeup guide celebrating diversity. Both works reflect her philosophy on representation, self-expression, and empowerment. Enduring influence and legacy. Iman's impact is vast and enduring. She has left her mark on multiple industries. Fashion industry. She is widely regarded as one of the first supermodels to achieve global recognition, paving the way for models of all backgrounds. Beauty industry. Her cosmetics line set the standard for inclusive beauty, influencing the industry's modern approach to shade diversity. Philanthropy. Her decades-long activism continues to inspire new generations of humanitarian leaders. Cultural icon. Her life story, rooted in strength, intelligence, and resilience, remains a powerful symbol of what it means to rise, lead, and make a difference. Conclusion. Iman's life is a testament to the power of reinvention and purpose. She is a woman who took her platform, fashion, and transformed it into a force for inclusivity, representation, and social change. Her beauty captured the world's attention, but her intelligence, compassion, and leadership won its admiration. Her story continues to inspire many who see in her a model not only of style but of substance. Iman, the timeless icon who redefined beauty, representation, and global influence. Few figures in the world of fashion and culture hold the kind of enduring power, elegance, and influence that Iman commands. Her story is not just the tale of a supermodel, but a narrative about identity, resilience, global citizenship, and groundbreaking leadership. From her early years in Somalia to her reign as an international supermodel and her evolution into a philanthropic powerhouse, Iman has shaped multiple industries and inspired millions worldwide. Early years. A global childhood. Iman Mohamed Abdulmajid was born on July 25, 1955, in Mogadishu, Somalia, into a highly educated and culturally rich family. Her father worked as a diplomat, while her mother was a teacher and activist for women's education. These influences instilled in her a deep respect for knowledge and understanding of global politics, a strong sense of discipline, pride in her heritage movement across cultures. Iman's childhood took her to Egypt for boarding school and later to Kenya. This early exposure to different cultures made her adaptable, worldly, and intellectually curious. By adulthood, she was fluent in several languages, a testament to her cultural versatility. Academic aspirations. Before fame found her, Iman planned to pursue a diplomatic or academic career. She enrolled at the University of Nairobi to study political science. But destiny often enters quietly, and hers arrived in the form of a photographer who saw not just a face but a future icon. 2. The discovery that changed fashion forever. Iman's discovery by photographer Peter Beard is now legendary. Even in the casual setting where they met, her confidence, posture, and striking beauty were undeniable. Though she initially dismissed the idea of modeling, she eventually traveled to New York to give it a chance. Her arrival triggered immediate attention. Reporters and editors lined up to meet the tall, elegant Somali newcomer. Fashion insiders instantly recognized they were witnessing a star in the making. 3. The supermodel era. When Iman ruled the runway, the late 1970s and 1980s saw a dramatic transformation in the fashion industry, and Iman was at the center of it. Breaking boundaries at a time when black models were rarely celebrated, Iman's debut was revolutionary. Designers praised her elegance and presence, and she became one of the first black models to achieve global supermodel status. Designers muse Iman didn't just wear clothes, she inspired them. Fashion icons admired her artistry, and many credited her with influencing the racial and aesthetic diversity seen in later decades. Editorial dominance. Her face graced countless covers and editorials, each reinforcing her place as one of the most captivating models of her generation. She was photographed by the world's most prestigious photographers, who sought her regal presence and expressive depth. Runway power. Iman walked runways with a commanding yet graceful stride that became her signature. Designers valued her professionalism and ability to elevate every piece she wore. She wasn't just a model. She was, and remains, a symbol of beauty that transcends time, culture, and trends. IV. Life beyond the flashbulbs. The savvy businesswoman. Many models transition into business after their careers, but Iman was ahead of her time. She recognized the need for diversity in the beauty industry long before the conversation became mainstream. Iman Cosmetics launched in 1994. Her brand was created specifically to serve women of color. Her motivation came from years of experiencing makeup artists who didn't have shades for deeper skin tones, forcing her to mix foundations herself. Her line offered a wide range of foundation shades, products formulated for various undertones, makeup that celebrated, not concealed, melanin-rich skin. Iman Cosmetics set the groundwork for the inclusive beauty movement. It was the blueprint for many brands that later made shade diversity a priority. A multifaceted entrepreneur, Iman expanded her empire into fragrances, fashion collections, home decor, jewelry designs, television. Hosting. Her business ventures reflect her creativity and understanding of what real women want. Versus acting, media, and creative work. Iman also made selective appearances in film and television. She brought elegance and strength to every role, using acting as another form of expression rather than a primary career path. She also authored 2 books that blended beauty, memoir, and philosophy, each offering insight into her experiences and approach to identity. V. Philanthropy. A heart for the world. Iman has always used her platform for global good. Her humanitarian work includes advocacy for refugees and displaced communities, women's rights, ending global poverty, healthcare access, education initiatives. Growing up as the daughter of a diplomat and witnessing African social issues firsthand shaped her commitment to helping marginalized groups. She has worked with numerous charities, served as a global ambassador, and raised awareness about humanitarian crises. Her philanthropy is not performative, it is passionate, personal, and persistent. V. Love and family. A private sanctuary. Iman's relationship with iconic musician David Bowie is often regarded as one of the most beautiful love stories in modern pop culture. They married in 1992 and created a life built on mutual respect, creativity, and emotional harmony. A rare Hollywood love story, their marriage was known for deep commitment, strong privacy, genuine companionship, shared values. They welcomed a daughter, Alexandria, in 2000. Iman also embraced Bowie's older son, Duncan, as family. Loss and tribute. Bowie's passing in 2016 profoundly affected Iman. She has spoken openly about grief, resilience, and the enduring presence of love. Yet she continues to live with grace, carrying his memory as part of her journey. 8. Aging gracefully. A philosophy of strength. Iman is celebrated not only for her beauty but for her views on aging. She rejects the harsh pressures society places on women, particularly in fashion. Her approach includes embracing age as wisdom, rejecting the term anti-aging, promoting confidence at every stage of life, celebrating the beauty of maturity. She has said that in her African culture, aging is a blessing, not a burden, and she lives this philosophy publicly. X. Legacy. What Iman represents to the world. Iman's legacy is vast and enduring. She is a pioneer of representation. She opened doors for models of color and changed the standards of global beauty. A visionary entrepreneur, her cosmetics line transformed the beauty landscape decades before inclusivity became mainstream. A cultural icon, she remains a symbol of elegance, intellect, and empowerment. A humanitarian, her compassion and activism have improved countless lives. A global influencer, her impact crosses borders, generations, and industries. X. Conclusion. A life that inspires. Iman's journey is not one of mere glamour. It is the story of a woman who used every opportunity to uplift, expand, and redefine. She began as a young Somali student and became one of the most influential supermodels in history, a business leader ahead of her time, a humanitarian with a global voice, a symbol of love, strength, and resilience. Iman is more than an icon, she is a legacy in motion. Iman, a monument of grace, global influence, and cultural transformation. To speak of Iman is to speak of transformation, of fashion, of beauty, of representation, of philanthropy, and of womanhood itself. Across 5 decades, she has evolved from a Somali diplomat's daughter into one of the most recognizable icons on earth. Her life cannot be confined to the label supermodel. She is a cultural architect, shaping how the world sees beauty, diversity, and strength. This is a deeper portrait of the woman who redefined entire industries. A childhood of culture, education, and discipline. Iman's formative years were shaped by a blend of tradition and cosmopolitan influence. Born in Mogadishu, she grew up in a Somalia that, at the time, was culturally thriving, rich in poetry, art, and intellectual life. Her family emphasized education not as a privilege but as a duty. Her mother was especially determined to give her daughters the same academic opportunities as her sons. Growing across borders, she spent critical years in Egypt, where she attended boarding school, a place that exposed her to students from all over the Middle East and Africa. It was here that she developed a sense of global identity. Later in Kenya, where her family relocated, she deepened her multilingual fluency and cultivated an intellectual worldview. Academic ambition. Before the world saw her as a beauty icon, Iman saw herself as a scholar. Her interest in political science was sincere. She believed she would someday serve in diplomacy or international policy, following in her father's footsteps. Yet destiny had another vision for her, one that would still allow her to influence the world, just in a different way. Discovery. In Nairobi, destiny arrives unexpectedly. The moment that changed her life came quietly. A renowned photographer saw her on the streets of Nairobi and was captivated by her height, elegance, and regal bearing. It wasn't simply her beauty, it was the way she carried herself, confident, intelligent, composed. Initially, she dismissed the idea of modeling. She had academic goals. But the photographer's persistence and the potential earnings eventually convinced her to fly to New York. A sensation upon arrival, when Iman stepped into the U.S. fashion scene, she created a shockwave. Reporters who had never seen a model like her wrote about her immediately. She became an overnight phenomenon, not merely for her looks, but for her poise, education, and presence. She wasn't a blank canvas. She was a woman with identity, culture, and self-awareness. This immediately set her apart. 3. The reign of a supermodel. Fashion's new ideal. Iman entered the modeling world during a time of significant cultural shifts. Yet diversity was still limited, and the fashion industry rarely spotlighted black beauty. A new vision of beauty, Iman's silhouette, features, and charisma broke the mold. Her presence forced the fashion world to reconsider its narrow beauty standards. Designers celebrated her uniqueness, her long, statuesque neck, her symmetrical, sculpted facial structure, her expressive eyes, her graceful yet commanding movement. She embodied both African heritage and timeless glamour. Editorial immortality. Iman became a fixture on magazine covers, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Elle, and many more. Her editorial work set new artistic standards. Photographers admired how she transformed the lens with subtle shifts in emotion and posture. Runway majesty. On the runway, Iman balanced regality with fluidity. Her walk was strong yet unforced, a blend of power and elegance. Designers came to rely on her to elevate their collections. She wasn't just modeling clothes. She was elevating fashion into a higher visual language. A muse to legends, many of fashion's greatest talents viewed her as inspiration, the kind of model who changes the way designers think. Her legacy in modeling is not just about appearance, it's about the cultural shift she initiated. IV. Entrepreneurship, vision, innovation, and inclusivity. Iman's transition from model to entrepreneur was not a reinvention, it was an expansion. Understanding the problem throughout her modeling career, she frequently encountered makeup artists who didn't have shades that matched her skin tone. She often had to mix foundations herself. This experience planted a seed. She understood firsthand the beauty industry's failure to serve women of color. Building Iman Cosmetics by the early 1990s, she decided to solve the problem herself. She launched Iman Cosmetics, a bold and unprecedented move at a time when the beauty market largely centered around lighter skin tones. Her brand stood for representation, scientific quality, inclusivity, cultural respect, authenticity. Iman Cosmetics offered an expansive range of shades, undertones, and formulas specifically for deeper complexions. The brand was not a trend, it was a necessity. Influence on modern beauty.
Bye bye, thanks for watching. Bye.